This is our day 2 to gain some more practice with writing equations that are parallel and perpendicular. So just to recap, we had parallel, which have the same slope, and we have perpendicular, which have opposite reciprocal slopes. So we flip it and change the sign. So first, we're just going to identify which of these lines, if any, are parallel. So we need to first get them into slope-intercept form. So this one we need to divide everything by 3. Y is equal to negative 3x minus 5/3. And so our slope we can see here is negative 3 on this one. On this one I need to add my 6x. So 2y equals 6x minus 5. We can't combine anything that has an x and doesn't. So we just put them next to each other. And then we want to divide every single thing by that coefficient to get y alone. And that one we have a slope of positive 3. And then our last one here, we want to subtract 12x. For y equals negative 12x plus 1, divide by 4. And y equals negative 3x plus 1/4. So there's our slope of negative 3. So which of those would be parallel? A and C, because they both have a slope of negative 3. Now let's take a look at these where we're going to try and figure out if they are perpendicular. So we're going to divide by 3. Y is equal to negative 2x minus 3, so slope of 2 on that one. This next one, we're going to add 2x for y equals 2x minus 4, and then divide every single thing by 4. So y equals 2 over 4, we can reduce that to 1/2, and then divide here to get negative 1. So 1/2 is our slope there. And then we want to subtract 10x. 5y equals negative 10x plus 15. And lastly, divide everything by 5. Negative 2x plus 3. So slope of negative 2 as well. So A and C are, looks like parallel. And so that would mean that we have A and B. I'll put A and B are perpendicular, and then B and C are perpendicular. So down here, get rid of that, we have our point slope form. And we are going to be plugging in and writing some equations, just like we did in our last lesson. So let's go ahead and look to see we're doing parallel. So our slope is going to be negative 5/2. And then here's our x1 and our y1. So y minus 4, which is our y1, equals our slope, and then parenthesis x minus, and then my x1. So make sure that you have the minus and the negative for our negative 2. So now we're going to change that double negative, whoops, I want to do that. There we go, to a positive, and then we are going to go ahead and distribute. Now, when we multiply, you can either use your calculator, or we are going to take the numerator times our whole number here, which is negative 10, and then put it over our denominator, which we can go ahead and reduce to negative 5. And our last step is to get our y alone, which would be to add 4. So y equals negative 5/2 x minus 1. So I want you to try this next one. The slope here is negative 1 in front there. So go ahead and plug it in to your point slope. And then distribute and get it into slope-intercept form, and check when you're ready. Double check your answer for number 2. She plugged everything into the correct spots. You distributed your -1, and then you were adding 1 to get y alone. We're going to continue kind of these same steps, but we are going to be doing it now with perpendicular. So we are going to change our slope on these because perpendicular, we need a slope that is the opposite and reciprocal. So instead of a negative, it's going to become positive. Instead of 2, it's going to become 1/2. And so I'm going to do y minus, and here's my y1, -5, so double negative, equals my slope, parenthesis, x minus my x1, which is -2. So double negative again changes there. So we're going to distribute that 1/2, 1/2 x, and then 1/2 of 2 is 1. And then we're going to subtract 5. So y equals 1/2 x minus 4. So go ahead and try this next one. Again, your slope, you need to flip it and change the sign since we're perpendicular. And then plug it into point slope form, and here's your point. And double check that you got y equals -3x plus 19.